Here for another great Wisdom and Knowledge 5 podcast episode. And today I want to discuss, why is the US not standing up? You see all these other countries, you see Bulgaria, they overthrew their government because they came out by the masses. Why is a place like the United States, a very influential country in the world, just sitting back doing nothing, not taking a stand whatsoever? And I'm not saying that everyone is not taking a stand, but by the masses, when you realize what is really going on and you see, the truth, you should want to rise up and, you know, stand for humanity, stand against, political nonsense, stand against a conquer and divide game. And the US just, staying silent, you know? Yeah, there's things going on, and they're just like, and it seems like every time something happens, whether it be the pandemic, whether it be this, that, and the other, there's no uprising. The uprising that you see is I'm obsessed with politics. I have to align with my side of politics. I have to align with this, that, and the other. And it's like, why not stand for humanity? Why not stand against the, political nonsense pushing this? You know, uh, just doesn't make sense. See other countries like UK, Bulgaria, like I mentioned, France, people going hard, Italy, people taking a stand for humanity. But here it's like, you know, you don't see it. You see people sucked into and you do see people when you go on social media, when you go on things like Instagram, you do see accounts, people being a light in this world, taking a stand, grassroots efforts like that. But by the masses, so many people just don't care in this country. It just doesn't make sense to me. If you would see these things going on, like the Epstein files, uh, this, that, and the other, you know, billions of dollars given to Israel, while our country's being forgotten about, you name it, money given to Ukraine, you name it, wouldn't you want to take a stand by the masses, you know, nationwide instead of this, these ones that focus on Trump. You look at anything, you look at the shows like the, Super Bowl, which I did not watch 1 second of, no interest in this, conquer and divide game. Somebody brought up a great point too, like with these Super Bowls, with the halftime shows. You look at people like three people: Prince, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. They did halftime shows for the Super Bowls, and it was all about humanity, all about caring for humanity. You look at these; it was divide, conquer. It had nothing to do, and just not interested in that, So just wondering why more people by the masses, why my country, why the United States cannot just stand up by the masses and, you know, stand against this. And let me show you something uh, right here. Look at this. This is from December 11th, 2025. Bulgarian prime minister and government resigned after mass protests. And this is straight, mainstream news, BBC. The government of Bulgarian Prime Minister Rosen Zelyazkov has resigned after protests took to the streets in the cities across the country and filled the center of the capital, Sofia, on Wednesday night. Uh, President's uh, dramatic move came ahead of a vote of no confidence in parliament and 20 days before Bulgaria joins the euro. Protesters had accused his minority center-right government in power since January of widespread corruption. The government had already scrapped a controversial budget plan for next year in response to the demonstrations last week. We heard the voice of the citizens protesting against the government, Zelyaskov said in a TV address. Both young and old have raised their voices for our resignation. He added, this civic energy must be supported and encouraged. A statement on the government website said ministers will continue in their roles until a new cabinet was elected. Between 50,000 and 100,000 people turned out in Sofia's central triangle of power in Independence Square on Wednesday evening, calling for the government to go. The words resignation and mafia out were projected onto the parliament building. They were backed last week by President Rumen Radev, who had also called on the government to stand down. So it can be done. People, by the masses taking a stand. Now, I get Bulgaria is not the same population as United States, but you know, you can do the same things here. When you see, basically this crime organization, running our country, and it's been happening for years, no matter what side it's on, funding genocides, doing this, that, doing that, doing the other, giving billions to countries like Israel, you know, to wipe out humanity. Now, people should be out there by the mass while inflation, while, food costs go up, while housing costs go up, while this, that, and the other goes up. Why are people just sitting back? I mean, yeah, there's people like myself and others out there, you know, uh, speaking the truth, interviewing people from all over, and just, raising awareness. And that's great. But why are people not out in the streets from a non-political aspect saying, hey, politics suck, man. Why would you ever be into politics? Politics suck. Politics are not your way out. And that's what you see in this country. People are like, politics are our way out. Politics are our way out. I have to worship this guy. I have to worship that. No. Start standing for humanity. Start standing for truth. Start standing for, everything that is right. You know, be a light in this world. Stand with people across the world who are standing up for humanity, who are standing against the world that these billionaires, that these, globalists want us to live in. Nah, we're not playing that game. You know, we're not interested in what you want for us. We're not interested in you ruling over us. We're interested in living our lives. We're interested in doing what we want to do. And that's what you need to do is be a light, be out there. And I just don't see it. I'm not, in this country, people are just politics this, politics that, and it's like, nah, I'm sorry. I gotta see this, that, and the other. I'm so focused on watching the Super Bowl and I don't care about anything else. Or I'm so focused on the halftime. What? Those people don't care about you. It's all propaganda. Stop. Yeah. Stop. Yes. It's just hilarious. Now look at this right here. This is so true. Look at this. No matter who you vote for, the debt keeps rising and the bombs keep dropping. This is so true. I mean, you see it with any administration that's been in there. And, we do not stand for this. We want peace. We don't want wars. We don't want funding other countries. Stop with this and stand up against this in the US. Who do they bring back to DC? You know, Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel. They bring him back, to cater to his every need. And it's like, nah, we don't stand for this evil, inhumane prick. Get out of our country, man. It's our country. It's not yours, you know? So it'll be very interesting because there's going to be a lot that goes on in 2026. Are people actually going to, finally start to stand up by the masses, or is it just going to be continue to be the same, you know? And much love to those out there being a light, these grassroots efforts, uh, speaking the truth, because we need to educate others, but we need this by the masses. We need people to wake up in this country, and that's what it takes. Anyways, I just wanted to come on and just, discuss this topic this week, you know, and if you haven't, subscribed to the podcast, be sure to subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, other audio platforms, you name it, alternative video platforms like Bitchute. You can find it Wisdom Knowledge 5 podcast. Uh, because I interview people from all over. I do, episodes myself, just speaking on truth, speaking on what is going on in the world. And, we are called to be a light in this world. We are called to take a stand and stand up for all humanity and educate others and wake up the masses. So much love. Uh, Peace.